the more intelligent version of NoFX to me, right? And it's got like they use words I don't know the meaning to. I think it's a little pretentious at times, but it's really, really well made too. So it's like they've got a lot of melody, a lot of really great topical stuff
Yeah.
that they speak about. So like I appreciate them probably more than I like them, if that makes any sense.
It does. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Okay. So November 23, 1990, we get Bad Religion's Against the Grain. Obviously, it was on Epitaph Records. It's 35 minutes. It's a pretty quick album. It's only is it really?
I think it's 17 songs.
Okay, I was like, is it really that many songs? I guess it is. 17 songs, 35 minutes. Here's the thing, man. My Bad Religion, like what I like. Okay, so I like Bad Religion. Kind of always have, right? But they've never been one of the bands that I was like tripping out about. I've seen them play a few times. They were actually quite good live. But their really early material is where I kind of like them, and I like Suffer. I like there's a few records they've got that I like. No Control is really, really good, but All Ages was my first like real introduction to them. So all the stuff that's included on All Ages, I really, really like, and I don't think that it has anything to do with the songs on. That's way before Against the Grain, right?
Well, All Ages is a compilation.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying like but all the stuff that came on that was like before Against the Grain.
You know, I think there might be stuff off Generator on it too.
Yeah, let me look that up real quick. So my point isn't any kind of like crap talk. It's just that I don't have a ton of experience with Against the Grain because Bad Religion is like the more intelligent version of NoFX to me, right? And it's got like they use words I don't know the meaning to. I think it's a little pretentious at times, but it's really, really well made too. So it's like they've got a lot of melody, a lot of really great topical stuff that they speak about. So like I appreciate them probably more than I like them, if that makes any sense.
It does. It makes a lot of sense.
And so in saying all that, Against the Grain was a pretty good record, man. I enjoyed it quite a bit. What's up, guys? So we just partnered up with Dead and Buried Inc. out of LA. So if you have a band or a small business, maybe an event coming up and you need merch, hit these dudes up. There's a link in the description. If you mention that you got there via the Punk Rock Review, you'll get 10% off of your first order. But it's super high quality screen printing, embroidery. They do shirts, hats, hoodies, skateboards, bags, whatever you want printed, they can handle it, all right? They're also a small business, and they're part of the punk rock community. They're my friends. So this is a partnership that's very important to me. If you need merch, hit these dudes up. Check them out. You won't be disappointed, all right? Back to the video.
Really well. I think it was Suffer maybe that came before this one. No Control.
There's No Control.
Okay, No Control. I think that's one of Bad Religion's more popular records.
Okay. Yeah. No Control is very popular.
I'm not a huge fan. I mean, it's fun. I'm sorry. Keep going.
No, it's okay. I like No Control. Actually, let's see. 88 was Suffer. 89 was No Control, and then it came into after those two records, people probably foaming at the mouth to get a hold of a new record. Those are two really fantastic albums.
Yeah,
at least in my opinion.
I need to go back and visit those records again. My introduction to Bad Religion was Stranger Than Fiction, actually.
Okay. I had that record when it came out.
Which is honestly my favorite record by them that I've heard.
Yeah.
I think front to back, it's pretty fucking incredible. I mean, they had a major label, they got the money from the major label. They had a big, studio budget. They had a couple of singles on the radio at the time. I don't know if you remember that Infected song was on the radio.
So, okay, I live in Houston, man. None of that stuff was on the radio here.
That's crazy. Okay.
Dude, I've never heard a Bad Religion song on the radio. I've never heard a Pennywise song on the radio. I've heard Offspring. I've heard Sublime. I've heard one Rancid song one time.
Green Day, obviously.
And I've heard Green Day. So, like, all the, like, really, really, really major pit label pop stuff I've heard. Anything like Epitaph and Harder to Find, I really haven't heard on the radio.
Well, I mean, I think in California, because LA radio stations kind of controlled what was happening up here too.
Right.
They would play a lot of the punk stuff. That's how we got it. Infected was in rotation for maybe like a summer. I remember that. And that's how I heard about a lot of these bands. Isn't
that weird? It's weird to me.
TV and the radio, and they like play one or two songs. Like that's how. I mean, actually, no, Rancid. That's how I heard about Rancid too. Let's be honest.
No
Like,
kidding, really.
yeah, it was it was
Huh.
it was it was MTV and the radio because they were on heavy rotation. But
That's
yeah,
wild.
so Stranger Than Fiction I thought was a great record. Um, some of I think their best songs are on that record, particularly to me. Maybe it's I like the like sonic quality of that record a lot too, right?
Yeah.
Guitar playing is off the chain. The
I
thing
will
with
I will agree with that. The sonic noises you get on you said
Stranger Than Fiction,
Stranger Than Fiction
yeah,
is look, man, Stranger Than Fiction is a pretty decent record, but
the
here's the thing.
production's really good.
Do what?
Production's really good on that record.
Yes, but so okay, here's the thing, man. They've got 4 songs on Against the Grain that I would say can probably go head to head with anything on Stranger Than Fiction. And that, in my opinion, would be Modern Man, Turn on the Light,
Okay.
Operation Rescue. But 21st Century Digital Boy is like literally a classic punk song, not just a Bad Religion song.
Well, they remade that song for that album, Stranger Than Fiction.
Oh, they did. Oh, that's right. It's on Stranger Than Fiction, isn't it?
They re-recorded.
Tells you how good that song is, huh?
And it was also.
I forgot that they did that. Hold on, they sure did, didn't they? I want to put those next to each other and listen to them later. Damn, that's crazy. So, look, Against the Grain does fall short on production, in my opinion, a little bit.
Yeah.
I here's the thing, man. I don't like the. I can't even really tell you what it is I don't like about Bad Religion because I like a lot of stuff. Like if you give me like, look, there's 20 things that you could say you do or don't like about Bad Religion. I'd say like somewhere between like 17 and 18 of them would go in the like column. And there's like 2 or 3 things that I don't really care for. And I can't really put my finger on what it is.
I can tell you what I think, why I don't like them as much as I should, right? I don't want to take anything away from Bad Religion. Obviously, they've done a lot for punk rock. They're an important band, like you would say objectively, the guitar parts are, that band was highly influential on a lot of the Epitaph stuff that you like, right?
Yeah.
Pennywise were huge fans of that band. You can tell.
So No Effects.
I see less Bad Religion in No Effects, but I see what you're saying. It's a different sound.
Shit, just ask Mike, dude. Mike says it all the time.
I know. I'm just saying they don't sound like them to me though. Bad Religion.
Oh man, that's crazy.
They have that like fast like Epitaph. I mean that like fat record drum beat. That Bad
so do. They used to sound more like them, but they definitely have a whole bunch of Bad Religion in their music. Now, as they've gotten older, they've both changed enough to where it's way further apart than it used to be. But like, man,
had like a lane, and Bad Religion had a lane, and Bad Religion kind of stayed that lane.
I don't necessarily agree with that, but I don't think it's like this kind of overlap. I think it's like on the pie chart, it's going to look
there's like a Venn diagram.
The Venn diagram is going to look like 40.
Pennywise is closer to Bad Religion than No Effects is, in my opinion.
Probably. I don't think of it like that, but it's probably true.
So with Bad Religion, to me, it's the guitar parts were always the coolest thing to me. Like the way they did, like, solo. And I don't think the guy from Minor Threat was even in the band until '94.
Right.
Brian Baker didn't join until later. And I was under the impression for the longest time that he was on this record and maybe Stranger Than Fiction, but it wasn't. It was the owner of Epitaph Records who played guitar for Bad Religion who left the band.
Brett Gurewitz.
Yeah, he was a guitar player.
So
Greg Hudson, but it's the lyrics, it's the vocals, and it's so nerdy. It's like I wish he would use less big words and just kind of like be a little cooler, but like they're intellectual. So it's like it comes. It's just what do you say? Entropy.
Oh, we're gonna get.
It doesn't really like roll off the tongue. It doesn't like. I don't know.
Well, dude, we're gonna get flamed for this in the comments probably. I don't care either. I just think it's funny because we rarely agree about stuff like this. But I think that's what my issue is too. Is that it's like you make me feel stupid, man.
Songs too, right? Like
okay. At the parties, when you go to a party, you got the
when they hit. When they don't, you're like, ah.
Yeah, that's very accurate. Because they've got some songs that are so damn good that I'm like, should I really feel this way about it? They're really, really amazing.
But on this record in particular, Against the Grain, I wanted to skip more songs than I wanted to listen to. I
agree with that. There's
only like 5 songs on this record.
No, I think I only like about 6. So like,
yeah.
But the ones I like, I really like though. But here's the thing: like you said, when they hit, they hit. But when you're at a party, you have You have like the drunk dudes hanging out, like arguing and wrestling around and acting stupid. You have the girls that are talking and but over in a corner, you always have this group of people that are having like an incredibly serious, likely boring conversation about a
Yeah.
topic that you don't give a shit about because you're trying to have a good time, and they're not drinking. They're not. Now, I'm not saying that Bad Religion didn't drink or do any drugs. We all know the stories about these guys, but
Graffin didn't. I think he was totally sober, actually.
I think so too. But like, there's other members of the band that cannot say that. Anyhow,
Right.
but like they're the guys that are over there in the party, like in the sweater with like maybe like having like a coffee or something, and they're
Yeah.
having like a discussion on like stuff, and which is perfectly acceptable, fine and okay. I'm not saying you can't or shouldn't do it. I'm just saying that when I'm at the party, I'm typically trying to get drunk and party with my homies, and
It's
so
yeah.
that's what I feel like Bad Religion is within punk rock, but it's needed, necessary, and I do want it here.
100%.
I don't know how to say it because it's going to piss off people, and I'm not trying to piss anybody off, but I'm not going to change my opinion just to make everybody happy either. Like it is what it is.
When you sing a song, right? When you're like singing along to a tune that you like a Rancid song, it has a flow to it. You know, the words kind of like roll off your tongue a little bit more. It's like a cadence. The guy from Bad Religion just sounds like he's trying to cram as many big words as he can into a sentence as possible.
Sometimes.
Other times it's cool and like it's more like chill. You know, like there's a song, "Walk Away" on Against.
Oh, yeah.
It's the last song, and I really like that song. I heard it on all ages at first, right?
Okay.
So,
They did have stuff on here from all ages, huh?
It did, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. A lot of songs on the record, but like, you know, it was different. He didn't say a lot of those words, and just to like say the word, you know, you got to think. To me, as a vocalist, you got to think how the word sounds in the context of the music.
So
it's like a realistic piece of work, you know.
Okay, so yeah, they did have quite a bit of stuff off of here. Okay, that explains all the songs that I like off this album too. Actually, is there all the ones that I like on this album are stuff that's off of all ages. Man, I'm an idiot, dude. People are gonna be so like rolling their eyes at me and be like, "This fucking poser," because I didn't realize that I was thinking that, but I wasn't sure, and I always
Whatever.
I second guess myself too much, and I'm not confident with what I know in my head, even
Everyone's
though I know
wrong
it.
about something at some point in their lives, man. Who cares?
It's what I don't really give a fuck, whatever. But like I guess here's the thing, dude. I like the album, but I've never been a giant fan of Bad Religion. So like I'll go see them live,
Yeah.
but I don't own a shirt. I only own I think one or two of their records in my house. And that's how I judge like how much do I care about this band? Do I have their records? Do I wear a shirt when I go see them play? These are all things that like so yeah, some of that I would do. I'll go see them play. I don't know that I want to see them. I don't know that I want to wear a Bad Religion shirt. I don't know like
Well, you probably wouldn't want to wear a shirt with a cross with the thing going through it, right?
I mean I've had Bad Religion shirts, it's whatever.
Okay.
Because their thing is more so. I mean, I don't really want to get into this debate, really, but their thing's more so like bad religion, not bad God necessarily. Now, what they believe, that's their own opinion, but I don't think that it's a thing that I think they could have a conversation with me and we could understand each other pretty well, I would think. But, because I mean, here's the thing. If you want to get down to brass tacks about that, I have a lot of questions myself, which is why on Sunday mornings you usually see me at my store, not sitting in a church building somewhere. So,
right.
But my beliefs are very, very hard for me to understand myself. I don't expect anybody else to understand them. But it's weird, man. It's one of those bands that I really sincerely want to like more than I do. And when I get to an album like this, it's like that's why, because it's like you have. So let me pull their discography real quick. So okay, what albums of theirs have you not heard? You know, said that, and I thought I was surprised by how many that the way you said it, I was like, huh, because I've heard almost all their records. Now, do I love all of them? You know, I'm following them on Spotify. I have a bunch of their stuff liked. So let's see. All their modern stuff I never really got into. Let's see. Age of Unreason, I never even listened to.
I didn't pay any attention to them after like the Great Race, dude. You know?
I think I'm probably in the same boat. Let me double check. I heard New Apps of Hell was really good. Empire Strikes First are records. These are records I'm very familiar with them, but I don't think I listened to them much. Process of Belief. I think I just got to where I didn't care about because the lyrics, man. I really agree with you on that. The lyrics really bothered me because I didn't care about them.
Well, I think some of what they're talking about is good and important, and the lyrics might be good.
Yeah, I'm not talking about topically. Topically, they're very, very important.
But you're not writing like a fucking like You're not writing like a college like thesis, dude. It's a song.
Well, in you know, on the other side of that
I'm
coin,
getting
dude,
roasted in the comments for this shit too. I
well,
know it.
no, because I'm already gonna fight back on this just because I have a personal opinion that's a little different. Like, if you think about where he's from, what he does, like this is just,
Yeah.
I bet you if you sat down and talked to him, this is just how he talks. I guarantee you this isn't any kind of work for him to come up with lyrics like this, which is why I was saying the thing about the party thing. I think he's an intellectual type and he'll go to a party and behave like an
Yeah.
intellectual type.
Definitely.
I'm not. I barely got out of high school. I didn't graduate until I was 21 because I had to go back and get my diploma. Like, I'm a fucking ape. So like there's a bunch of stuff I don't even understand half the words the guy uses, which is why I didn't listen to it much. And it's not his fault. It's my fault actually. So I can hang with that. It's whatever. But
the people that really enjoy Bad Religion and like them like the fact that he's saying these words. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
So the reason that we might not like them, other people love them. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Well,
like,
it's the same with most bands though. Like Rancid, I love his vocals and his slurry style and his like clashy, rip-off style stuff. Some people fucking hate that. I had a guy tell me the other day, I'd love Rancid if I could get over this guy's vocals, and it blew my mind because that's what I like about Rancid. But like, we all like what we like, man. I've tried really hard to stop worrying about that shit and just let it be what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I do think the album is important, and that for me is enough for me to tip of the cap. You know what I'm saying? Like now, like okay, I'm gonna give it two different grades. I'm gonna go subjectively, it's probably like a 4 out of 10 for me. Like objectively, it's probably double that. It's probably like an 8. This is a very important record. It's got a lot of great songs. And the only reason I'm going to go 4 is because it's got so many songs. And out of all of those, there's only like 5 or 6 that I really, really like.
Yeah.
In all fairness, I only listened to it twice in the last week and a half. I listened to it once, like about 4 days ago. What's today? Today's Thursday, right? Yeah. So Sunday, I listened to it once, and then I listened to it once today.
Yeah.
And today, when I listened to it, I was driving. So I should have stopped and paid more attention to it. But like, it's really hard for me to get into the words because also, while they're topically a great like Flat Earth Society, I like the song's funny to me, kind of, right? But like, I guess the Grain's a pretty good track. This album's not the worst, man. It's just
those 4 songs are.
I just think that
we named them.
They're so highly ranked amongst most people's like list of importance that like I hold them at a high standard, and I have a high bar that they have to jump over. And I'm like, sometimes you don't quite get over that bar. When you've got albums like, dude, the 2 before this, No Control and Suffer, like, I mean, how do you really follow that up with a record that's as good as either of those two? And so like, I don't even blame them for this. I will say this, I love the cover art. I love it. And Generator I thought was pretty decent, but like Recipe for Hate I really enjoy quite a bit. Stranger Than Fiction, I think I actually like that album quite a bit now that I'm thinking of it. Because I didn't used to, but I had it as a kid, so it's got like a sort of like a special place for me. Like it's like, oh, it's important, and I used to like it a little bit, and that for that reason as a youngster I had it, so I like it more now. But I don't know, man. I think there's far more to like than to complain about with Bad Religion. The only issue is, when do I want to listen to this band? That's the question. So when I'm listening to music, when do I want to put on Bad Religion? And what albums do I pick? Because if I want to listen to them, I either go through and pick out all their hits and put it on, or not hits, but songs I like and make my own playlist.
Yeah.
Or I put on All Ages or Suffer, or actually that's it. I put on their playlist of the songs that I picked out.
Totally.
All Ages or Suffer. I don't go and listen to their albums otherwise. So I think my opinion is going to be kind of a lower opinion based on like you go look at my habits. I can't argue that because that's what I do. So it's not meant to be disrespectful.
For me, it's like I would just say there's an infinite number of artists and bands you can listen to, you know.
Right.
So you pick what you want to hear. Just because you don't choose to listen to something doesn't mean you don't like it, right? It's like I go when I feel like listening to them, I'll go to the album I like.
Right.
Fiction.
Me
I'll
too.
get that fix, right? And then I'll move on from that. But that's all I need. I mean, people can argue, you haven't heard their other shit. Like, what do you fucking know? Like, it doesn't matter to me because I don't.
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
I don't choose to seek this band's material out as much as. I mean, if you like the band, then go deep and listen.
Right.
I like one or two records, and those are the ones I want to listen to. And then other bands that like I enjoy more, I'm gonna go, or like I'm like obsessed with. I'm gonna try to listen to as much of the shit as I can.
Well, it's
It's
like this. It's
like
like this,
if
man.
they can start tomorrow, and I'll fucking want to go see where it was and what it smelled like. So
Well,
um,
they're incredibly important. I think
yeah,
that they've basically fathered a bunch of bands that I love. So for that reason, I respect Bad Religion like to the nth degree.
yeah,
Now,
agreed.
yeah, man, it's interesting, man. It's one of those. It's just one of those things. Dude, I want to like them more than I do. I guess I went to the punk. I will say something that's like pretty cool. It just kind of involves this album. So I was at the Punk Rock Museum, and I'm standing like I don't know 20 yards from this painting, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, huh, that's a cool print. And the guy's like, which one? And I was like, the Against the Grain print. And I went over, I'm looking at it, and he goes, really? And I was like, well, you don't think it's kind of cool? I was like, look, I may not love this record, but it's a pretty important album. And I'm
Yeah,
looking at it, and he goes, no, man, that's not a print. That's the artwork. And I was like, wait, what? Because it's like 4 foot by 4 foot. It's huge, dude.
pretty
It's a
good.
big ass painting. And I just like, it's kind of cool to see it, bro. Like when you get there, you're like, "That's fucking crazy, bro." Like
But
my opinions on it don't matter. It's crazy, dude. Like
Flesh,
you don't think I'm gonna go there and like look at the stuff the Damned made and be like, "That's fucking wild." Like that's not my favorite band, but I still respect it. Like I don't
sure.
know, it's just cool, cool,
I'm in
cool,
the same
cool
boat. I'm
art.
in the same boat. I appreciate the fuck out of Belgian. The guitar playing for me for that band, I think is incredible, over the top. I think that's what gets me the most with that band, or is musicianship. And
Well, let me speak on a couple of things that I really like about them, since we spent a bunch of time talking about things maybe we didn't care for as much. But I do feel like I have to be. I don't know, man. I like to be kind of positive if I can. I hate to just shit on stuff, especially
yeah,
things that I actually do care about. Um, Guitar playing is awesome. Their riffs are pretty great almost all the time.
right.
It's typically the vocals, not even the vocals. It's the lyrics that I have the issue with. Really, if you want to get down to brass tacks, it's the lyrics I have a problem with more than anything. But the production's always fine.
Yeah,
The guitar riffs are pretty great. The drums, I don't remember much about the drums. Their bass playing, I don't really think about it at all. But they have a lot of really great melodies in their songs. And there's a lot of stuff I may not sing along with their songs, but I'll hum along with them all the time because you'll get these hooks and melodies in your head, and you're like,
they're
why do I know that? And it's
they're
Bad
very
Religion,
hippie and they're very melodic. Yeah, and in that way, they're great songwriters.
right?
The guy can sing. They do like all the harmonies in the background too, like the ahs and all
Oh
that shit.
yeah. Well,
And
dude, look. We were speaking like specifically about subjective opinion thus far. Objectively, I think they're probably up in like the 8, 9 out of 10 range. They're like way up there because they're very good at what they do. Now
absolutely,
it's like, hey, do you like key lime pie? Not really, but is key lime pie good? Well, it's awfully fucking popular to not be. So,
right,
like, that's how I look at it. And
totally.
people can get all fucking bunched up if they want, and good. Have a good evening, being all
I
fucking.
texted you earlier. I feel like they're like the Rush of punk. You know,
You did say that, and I didn't really know how to respond to that. I was like, interesting, because I fucking hate
not like
Rush.
they're
I
like
don't.
a prog rock band, but like they're kind of nerdy and like
Right.
that's just, that's what it is.
Uh, yeah, and look, dude, this isn't just kind of some kind of shit on Bad Religion thing, man.
No, I like Bad Religion.
I that's the thing is I do like them. I think this album is just a little bit hard for me to get through. If there was any other album that we had picked to talk about, like what is their discography saying about '95 and other years? Let's see. Let's look and see what they've got coming outside of that, because I think that let's see. There's probably a fair amount of albums that we could talk about that we're going to have a far higher opinion on. Far better, what's the word? I guess higher, better opinion on than this one.
Like Stranger Than Fiction, I'd like pretty much the entire album.
I agree with that. There's a few albums that they've got that I really enjoy. Come on, Wikipedia. Okay, here we go. Discography. Okay, so we got 96. They don't have one. 2000. They got the New America. I don't know that I've ever even listened to that. So we may have to talk about that one later and dive into that because I want to actually get like how do I feel about some of these other records? They all have odd years, so we'll have to do them later on, I guess. But it's easier for me to pick
I think
albums.
they did a Christmas record too.
How weird is that, bro?
I don't know, it's pretty terrible. It's pretty fucking bad.
I've never heard it, so I don't know, but I would imagine
I
it
mean,
would
I
be
don't like
pretty bad.
Christmas music to begin with. And then on top of that, you got Bad Religion. I'm like, why? I have no fucking clue. But they
My
did.
favorite Christmas album was Amy Grant. You ever listen to that one?
Oh, dude, I haven't heard that name in a minute.
No, I was definitely kidding, but
Amy Grant, she's back in the day.
yeah, I just happened to see that recently in a record bin that I bought up a collection. It was out in the trash. But yeah, man, Bad Religion, dude. I think objectively, I'll give them like an 8.4. Subjectively, I'm gonna go with a 5. I'm gonna go right in the middle. Like it's not the worst thing.
I'm saluting Bad Religion. You know,
Yeah.
like
Well, that's what I'm saying. Objectively, I'm gonna go 8.4. Subjectively, I'm gonna go 5, right in the middle. So it's like not bad, but I don't love it. It's just middle of the road for me. But it's got some good songs. It's worth listening to. I say if you're gonna go and do like a Bad Religion deep dive, you kind of have to hit Against the Grain. Like it's got enough things on there that you need to know about to where you should go listen to it. But I'll tell you where I really messed up was I listened to this after I listened to Poison Idea. And
same.
it's kind of hard to follow that.
They're completely polar opposite records.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and wrap this up real quick, and we'll get to the other record here in a second because
No problem.
I do have some stuff to say about this album. And
you know, I'm gonna listen to more of this band though. I'm gonna go back tomorrow and listen to a couple of their albums.
I think we both should. I think we should come to the table in a few weeks, maybe with like a 10 songs that we jam off of Bad Religion's discography.
Because I might eat my words, you know, tomorrow.
I think that
I might be like, wow, like I was really shitting on the vocals and the lyrics, but this album fucking slaps in that I could change my mind. So
that on Against the Grain?
No, another
okay, a different album.
Against the Grain, I'm just like, I like 4 songs on the record, honestly.
I think if we came up with a top 10 Bad Religion songs list, it would be fun because they're a band that warrants the fandom and respect that they get. So
absolutely,
again, all respect due to Bad Religion. They're legends in the game, dude, and I don't have anything but respect for them. And unfortunately, if you don't just fucking get down on your knees and gargle some balls, people think that you absolutely hate something. Just because I don't say that I love it doesn't mean that I say that I actively dislike something. So I gotta fucking like fucking stop, bro. Anyways, all right. That wasn't weird at all.
I like the analogy. It was good.
Yeah, thank you, man. I try hard. Hard like an erect bile dysfunction commercial. What?